So we're here today with Shelley Cook. She's an avid runner. Most of us have seen her out there at one of the races we've been involved with, and she's run dozens of races both here as well as right across, kind of around the world,
Yeah.
including over a 100-kilometer race. So welcome, Shelley.
Hi, Sean. How's it going?
Very good. How are you
Yay.
today?
I'm doing fabulous as always. Yes.
Excellent. Well, let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself and your relationship with running.
Awesome. Great. So when I turned 40, this all started for me when I turned 40. I had worked at a nightclub for 20 years as a bartender throughout Regina. I'm quite outgoing and somewhat hyperactive as well. And so when my daughter turned 16, she was like, Mom, my older friends are starting to come into the bar. Have you thought about retiring? And I said, yeah, you know what, Kaylin, I hear what you're saying. I gotcha. So I decided I'm going to stop working part-time. What else am I going to fill my time with then? And so I just started kind of looking at what I needed in life. And I think as I was starting to grow older, I felt like I was kind of missing something that was just for myself. And so I think Aaron Barlow and Christine Barlow had made an announcement on Facebook about a half marathon group at the running room. And so initially that was my start into my running career, really, was doing that half marathon. I was nervous. I was really nervous. I remember going out for the first night and we met and at the running room, we're all bundled up because it was January, right? I wasn't as scared to run outside in the winter as I was running longer than 4 kilometers. I was very petrified, and Aaron reassured me and said, it's okay if you have to stop. But I remember going out that night and running 4 kilometers straight without stopping, and we got back to the running room, and I think I was like the second last person. And honestly, instead of being embarrassed and being kind of like, oh, this isn't for me, I was really empowered. It was like learning something new for the first time. It was like, I don't know, it was just really empowering. And I got addicted to it. I got addicted to the people and I got addicted to the distances. So yeah, so that's how I started.
Very, very cool. I think there's a lot of people that probably can relate to that in terms of the running room or running clubs being kind of that impetus to get them involved. And yeah, I think the first time a lot of us go out for that run, it can become very much something that we attract because the goal is set for the distance, and when you achieve it, the idea of the runner's high is very true. I mean, that success that you immediately get is fantastic. From that first training, where did things go from there?
Actually, when I did the first clinic there for the half marathon, I had met some really great women and men too as well, but I really built some great friendships. And with one of the ladies that I did the half marathon training with, I convinced her, or we convinced each other to sign up for the full marathon training. And then that's when it just snowballed. It's funny how when that happens, someone will suggest a race and then someone else will say, oh yeah, you know what, that was great. I loved having that instructor, or I really liked taking that training, or whatnot, or you really get some cool packages with this race. And then it just really honestly snowballs from there because you just get addicted to the positiveness that finishing a race. And when I say finishing a race, I mean finishing a race. You don't have to be the fastest one out there. You don't have to be the thinnest runner. You don't have to be a tall, lanky person. Like, a runner is all shapes and sizes. And that's what I really, really, really honestly love about our running community in general, is that you don't have to be the fastest one out there. We all get the same medal at the end of that run, or at the end of that race, pardon me. We all graduate from that marathon group. We all do the training, and someone may be faster than you, but that doesn't make your effort any more incredible. Right? And everybody's so encouraging in our running community.
No,
They're very
read a great post this morning. Someone said, the post was, what do you call the person who finishes the marathon last? And the answer was a marathoner. And I was like, that's it, right? Like it doesn't matter. First, last, middle of the pack, the achievement that yourself and all of those involved get and achieve is second to none, and really doesn't matter where you finish in those races. So completely appreciate
You're right.
that. Yeah, it was a neat, it really, as someone who's not a fast marathoner myself, I really appreciated that concept of it doesn't matter if I'm doing it in 3 hours or whether I'm doing it in 6. We both
That's right.
distance. And in fact, I've joked, and I think it's my mom who said it, I actually get more value for my dollar when I go slower. So I'm the one achieving more in terms of.
Absolutely, you're stretching it out.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, I get it. I like that.
Yeah. In terms of goals you set for yourself, are there any goals that you're working on and things that are coming up for you?
Oh, you got it. I'm glad you touched on this. Okay, so this year actually, it was supposed to be, I was going to try to break my 100-kilometer record. And unfortunately, the pandemic hit and yada, yada, yada. But not only that, my husband and I, because Mike started running as well. I mean, it's hard to be with someone and not get affected by the running bug because you just see them in such a great mood after their runs. You know, there's got to be something to it. And Mike decided to join me, and he is a very talented runner. I have to work my butt off. He has natural ability that stinker. But anyways, we're happy for him regardless. But we're definitely, both of us want to qualify for Boston. We want to run all 50 states. We want to do all majors. And actually, we were supposed to run Chicago, both of us, this October. But of course, pandemic hit. And so now we've been given options of when we want to make up that run. And so we chose 2022 to do that. And so it happens to be my 50th that year. So how exciting. So I would love to qualify for Boston in Chicago. That would be really amazing. But you know what? As you age, you know, you need to take better care of your body because I'm not 40 anymore or 30. So, you know, I do have a very physical job. So I really do have to take a step back sometimes and really calm my body and stretch. I do lots of yoga, and yeah, you really have to keep your body in a you have to be very careful anyways as you age, because you know, I want to run for the rest of my life for as long as I can. And I still am quite competitive and will still, you know, try to aim for a certain goal time. So in order to do that, you have to take care of your body, right? So there's a lot of maintenance that goes along with it, and I'm dedicated to that.
No,
for sure.
Well, yeah. and you mentioned Mike in terms of his natural ability to run, and you mentioned yourself in terms of competitiveness. He's competitive as well, so it's nice. I bet you guys constantly are pushing each other to that next goal. And then when you set those goals, like saying let's qualify for Boston and Chicago, I know both of you will drive each other to make that a reality. So I've got full confidence in both of you guys for getting there and doing that.
I appreciate that, Sean. That means a lot.
The biggest challenge will be pandemic. Will be if and when we get to come back to all of that racing at that scale, what it will look like, and yeah. But in terms of your guys' ability, I have no doubt in my mind.
That's so sweet of you.
That's an exciting goal we'll be watching for in the coming couple years here.
Yeah.
In terms of what you've accomplished so far, any goals that you want to highlight? I mean, getting into Boston was a big one that I know was important to you. Other things that you've achieved that you look back on and got kind of over the last 7-8 years and go, yeah, that was amazing.
You know what, Sean? Honestly, pacing. I really want to touch on this because this is really important. I love if my motto is if I'm not running a race in Regina, I try to volunteer it. I try to give back as much as I can because I believe in the sport and the community of runners. Like they're precious, and I want to be a cheerleader and I don't know, a ridiculous clown dressed up in a race, but I really want to focus on just staying healthy as I run. I think some of the best races was definitely being a pacer for the Queen City Marathon, and I will definitely do that again. That was the most amazing experience, honestly, to help people reach their goal. Like, you know, even as I was a pacer at the end of each marathon, helping other people achieve their goal, it was still tiring for me. There's a lot of pressure, to get them through at that time, and making sure you're telling them to drink water and take a pee break, it's okay, and take nutrition. Like, I took it very seriously. It was really important to me that they had a successful run. So that, and then definitely going ahead and doing long distance. That long distance running, oh man, when you slow your body down and you go at a nice solid pace and you eat during your run, you can go forever. I love that long distance. So I think next year, maybe doing another ultra, even if it is virtual, I think I'm definitely going to be into that. Cool. Definitely.
No, yeah. That's exciting. I mean, not a distance I've yet to run. It's something that I have toyed with myself. I mean, I don't consider myself a distance runner, but you got to set goals and you got to think how far could you go. And I mean, to me, it's almost that test of will. Who's going to win? You or the road? You or the trail? And how far can you push that human body? So I love the concept. Absolutely. Yeah, totally. You've talked a little bit all the way through about your running community. And I know you're a big part of the Regina community yourself. You're one of those people, like you said, if you're not running, you're volunteering, you're always going to be there. Just talk a little bit about that community and why it's so important to you.
I think it's because I'm a very outgoing person. I really feel comfortable around people. I feel really comfortable encouraging other people. I don't know, I felt like a lot in my previous self, and I'm talking my younger years, I kind of felt like an underdog sometimes. And so I think getting older and feeling that way, and in some instances being that, I think I've always wanted to cheer for the underdog. So I've always wanted to encourage people who think they can't do something. Yes, you can. You really can. If I can do any of these distances, anybody can. I am one of the biggest procrastinators out there. I can be quite negative, and that's what I've really focused on this year, is loving myself and really taking care of myself. And I encourage women, children, men to really focus on that. Make a commitment to love yourself. It's funny, you'll start to make choices that really show you love yourself. And that's taking time to run, taking time to train. I'm a better motivator. I'm a better cheerleader. I'm a better dog owner when I'm fulfilling my own needs. I'm able to give back more. So that's really important for you as parents of young kids, right? You really, both you and your wife, you really need to take time for yourselves, right? Because yeah, you need to empower yourself so that you can empower others, is how I see it. I've kind of gone on a tangent. I'm so sorry.
No. It really leads me to kind of our final question of what advice would you give to other runners? I mean, and that's a great place to start in terms of really focusing on self before you get out there and do anything. Find and make sure that you're in a place where running is going to be something that you can continue to do. Is there any other advice that you would share with either new runners getting started or those runners like yourself who've been doing it for a few years?
Well, honestly, not everybody likes to run with other people. We just had this conversation, actually, and sometimes even myself. I've gone to Lumsden Hills, turned up my music really loud by myself, ran up and down the hills crying and singing, and I can only imagine what people thought I was on, actually, and it was just high on adrenaline, obviously, but I encourage people to go out, get a good pair of shoes, do some light reading on the internet, join a forum where they're talking about, introductory to running, get in contact with the running room, get in contact with an endurance journey. Jen Ruland is a great, she has so much knowledge. Her and Patrick are awesome. I highly recommend that company for sure. There's lots of run coaches out there. Gabe Renouf is another one. Join a marathon group, join Marathon Matters, join the Pacers, step out of your box. It's okay. They're going to welcome you. A runner, don't expect you to be this amazing athlete right off the get-go. It's a process. It's a whole process. Don't be so hard on yourself. Kind of let go of that ego. Try something new. Sign up for a short race. you know, sign up with your parents. They can walk. And I mean, it's our races are really for everyone, from little tiny kids to older adults, you know, much older than us. I would just do some light reading. Hey, contact me on Facebook. I'm not shy. If you want to know anything, I'm not a run coach. You know, I haven't been trained in that, but I can always pass you on to someone who, if I don't know the answer, I'll pass it on to someone else who definitely knows more than I do. But I can kind of push you maybe in the right direction, or cheer you in the right direction.
You'll be that personal motivator. So
yeah.
I mean, I do think that that's a great piece there. I mean, someone like yourself, if someone's getting in contact with you, it's
yes.
a face they're going to see throughout the running community. So it becomes a familiar face. And that's one of the things I think in that advice you're giving is kind of that common theme is find those familiar faces, get to know those people that are out there, whether it's through a club, whether it's through a coach, whether it's just through the runners that are present on social media and like to share. We need to find that community that's going to work for us as individuals.
That's right.
And really find those cheerleaders, because someone who's going to pat us on the back and say, you know what, that was you didn't enjoy that run, but you did well with these things here. So I think that's a
right.
great way to really wrap things up, and advice I think we can all take to heart. So, so
awesome.
thank you very much, Shelley.
Thank you.
We will be, I mean, I'm always watching your social posts with your running. I know it's one that always jumps into our Queen City Marathon feeds all the time. And you're quick to comment and congratulate those other runners out there sharing their stories. So we all appreciate the work you put in to help support the running community broadly.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for your time today, and we'll see you soon.
Happy training.